All right, have and have not fans. This is my fifth and final video that I need to record today, unless something random pops in my head for me to do a video about. But kind of like the, is Justin getting what he deserved video and poll I did on the community tab, I want to ask the question of, should RK just snitch on Candace, or should he have snitched when he had the chance? Because of the fact that he's dealing with the FBI, the federal government. This isn't the, just the county police or anything like that. These are, the real deal. And I get it. You want to play dumb so you don't want to feel like, you got caught with your hand in the cookie jar. But at this point, they have all the surveillance footage and all this stuff from the hotel. So the fact that not only did you refuse to, give up Candace, but then you ran from the FBI and you're on the run, I don't really see a way for RK to get out of this mess. I mean, let's just think of it this way. Now, based on the preview for this upcoming episode, as well as the earlier previews we got for this entire season overall, it seems like Charles is going to kick Candace to the curb. So at that point, he's trying to distance himself from Candace altogether. So at that point, would Scott and Kyle's plan even mean anything? I mean, at best, they would just still slander her in the media and whatnot, and then now make things look worse for Charles because he actually took her to the White House. I mean, it's almost like, oh, so now the president-elect dumped her because all this stuff came out and this and that, but at the same time, they might just be trying to kick Candace while she's down. Now, you might just say, yeah, RK, that was a good move. You want to stay in Candace's corner and whatnot, but we all know that it's only because he's attracted to her, right? I mean, it's kind of ironic now. You refused to snitch on Candace, but then you snitched to Candace about Rocky giving information about Candace to Oscar, because at that point he was looking for the money, and that's why Rocky got half of his head beaten in by a golf club. So I mean, it's pretty obvious that Rocky and Broderick have more reason to instantly snitch on Candace because of the fact that they would get deported. What do you say? Arrested, put on the terrorist watch list, and deported back to where you came from. So obviously they have way more reason to squeal on Candace than RK. And I mean, when you think about it, RK is new to the game anyway when it comes to the prostitution ring. But at the same time, think of it this way. I mean, you literally tried to serve Scott a drugged beverage and he literally caught you in the act. So I just don't see the point. For plot purposes, yeah, I mean, because maybe when Candace is down on her luck, RK is the only one in her corner. But what can he really do at that point? Not to mention the fact that, once again, you got all this surveillance footage and whatnot. So I'm just really surprised that he got away. They must have some of the most incompetent law enforcement and government officials in the haves and the have-nots. Like, he got away. Well, I mean, you kind of got to. I don't think the guys chasing him were like huge, big, out of shape guys. Like, I think one of the most interesting scenes was the fact that he not only got away, but he managed to escape to Veronica's house without being detected. I'm like, so, well, then again, you have to think of it this way. Charles is currently in Detroit with Candace, so all the Secret Service and whatnot that was on surveillance at the hotel are no longer there because Charles isn't there. So it kind of makes sense why RK got away, I guess. But at the same time, it's the flipping FBI. So I don't know. It's unrealistic. But at the same time, what do you think will actually happen? Because remember, when Candace quit the game, this was after she got the $8 million and whatnot. She told Rocky, Gia, and RK that she was quitting. Like, it was over. She was done. Pretty much, I've come up. And she pretty much didn't give any of them a cut because the three people she had in the room at that time were the three people that she should have given a good amount of money to. Because remember, she told Rocky, like, the thing I'm working on now is so big that if it actually works, we won't ever have to do this prostitution ring again, making it seem like Rocky was going to get a cut, considering the fact that he was the one that got the photos of the account numbers on his phone. Gia was the distraction, pretty much pretending that there was someone after her, and that's why she was sitting with Oscar, playing with his laptop when he's working on it. She just kept shutting it, and then he eventually left it open, allowing Rocky to take the photos. Then Candace agreed to help him take down Charles and go bring him up to her room, and Rocky was the one that gave her the drug drink, but then it turned out to be too much, and then RK was the one that showed up and resuscitated Oscar, which saved his life, making Candace escape a murder charge, which she eventually, did murder him anyway. But then as soon as the money hit, it's like, hey, you know what? When it comes to my cut from last night's take, you can keep it. I'm good. I've come up. I'm done. So that's why Rocky snitched on her to Oscar in the first place, due to the fact that he was the one that felt the most scorn because she gave him nothing, and she said she was. So I can definitely see why Rocky would be as, I guess you could say, pissed off at Candace as Warlock was, because just like Warlock, you could argue that Candace did live up to her end of the deal and gave Warlock what she promised, which was it 200,000 or something? And I forgot the amount. Was it 50,000? No, what was it? $100,000, and she ended up giving him $150,000 because she told him that she got $400,000 or $500,000 from Jim when it was actually 7.4 million. And then she did give him the $2 million in cash, which we still don't know what happened to that after Warlock got arrested by the cops that Mitch, the Malone set up on him. So there's so many questions to ask from that. But at the end of the day, I really do feel like when it comes down to it, RK probably was better off snitching, because there's just way too much evidence piled up against him. It's like using street logic against the federal government. It's kind of like, when the FBI showed it to Veronica's house, she's good playing at the street, well, not the street level, but just the regular court and law system. But, she even told Benny, like, the Secret Service and whatnot is above her pay grade. So we can assume, like, she has her tricks and whatnot, but the FBI is a whole nother level. But one thing I don't like about some of the FBI agents we've seen in the haves and the have-nots is that they just act as incompetent as some of the more public officials, where they just grab people that they feel are, hey, we're going to arrest them. But then there's the one agent that's always like, well, we don't have solid evidence. Let's just get that first, so when we do arrest them, we can hold them. No. Let's just see how smart they are. And it's like, why? What's the point of that? So hopefully the questioning that occurs, I hope we see what happens when Veronica's taken away. Well, excuse me. I hope we see what happens since Veronica was taken away in the last episode, but we do know she's going to be released in the same episode next week. So I don't know, but at the core, do you think RK not snitching will even matter? I mean, I really want to know about the Malik stuff. Like, remember Candace set the van on fire and her and RK left? Why isn't there any follow-up on that? So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I just feel like we all know at the core, RK is just attracted to Candace, and that's one of the main reasons that he isn't snitching. But do you think RK and Rocky will find, do you think Rocky and Broderick will find RK, make him snitch? Not to mention, he does work at the hotel, so I'm guessing him not showing up anymore, we can almost assume that he's quitting, because he knows that the hotel is a hot spot for him right now since the FBI is looking for him. I wonder if Broderick's going to tell Catherine everything in the next episode, because we saw them in the preview, and then it's like, yeah, if RK doesn't tell on Candace, then we're screwed. We're going to be deported anyway. And Catherine wants Candace dealt with, so I'm pretty sure Catherine might end up calling RK herself and then putting him in a trap. And then because of that, he's going to have to snitch, and that will get Candace, taken care of once and for all. But then I wonder if that will strain the Hannah-Catherine relationship. But at the same time, Candace does deserve everything she's done. But then again, Catherine murdered. So there are just so many ethical questions to ask about this. So you know what, guys? I'm going to shut up now. Do you think RK should have snitched or not? That's the big question. And what do you think is going to happen when he's thrown out of the house next week? Will the FBI get him? Who knows? So thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Congratulations on making it to the end of this video. If you like what you just saw, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, or if you have anything you would like to add to the video, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you want to keep up with me on social media, go to the description box. All of my links for social media are right there. Also, if you feel like you would like to donate to the channel, make sure to click on the link to PayPal. Any amount helps. $1, $5, $20. As a full-time YouTuber, any support from my fans really does mean a lot to me. Finally, make sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you're kept up to date on any new content I post to the channel. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next video.